My slippers say hello too. I hope you can hear the birds. There's also industrial noise from the welding shop behind me on the other side of that fence. But that Nandina bush weathered the winter very well, didn't it? And the oh gosh, I could think of the name of that uh, groundkeeper, something pennies or coins or something like that. That came up again this spring. So I'm glad to see that back. You can see that I cut back the purple fountain grass that used to be so tall in this container here. There's just now the little bit of the brown stalks sticking up, and it is a perennial, but probably did not survive the freezing temperatures in a container here, so I'll have to decide if I want to replant that or not. But the stone crop creeper that's in the front, and I really cut back the vines that you see in the back, and the coral bell has just thrived all winter long. It's really been fascinating to see what works well in both the containers and the climate in this area. And the dwarf spruce pine that I got as a nod to and a tribute to that what became a giant spruce pine in front of our kitchen window at 803 South Baldwin. I decided to have a miniature dwarf spruce pine here as sort of a touchstone of that memory in my youth and childhood growing up, and that's shared by our family. And of course, every winter, every Christmas time, that would be strung with those Christmas lights. Eventually it got so big it absolutely blocked the view, and Jeff Cook and his wife cut it down because they wanted to have light and a view out of their kitchen window. And I actually have that container turned around. It's my favorite of all my containers. A really heavy, nice ceramic oval container, and so I think the shape of it is, sorry, my laptop is about to fall off my lap. I think the shape of it is unusual, and then there's also that medallion in the center on both sides, and a nice little container, drip tray underneath out of the same ceramic. I have it turned around because you can see the difference on the what is now the right side of the pot. The different variety of coral bell just did very well and is much bigger than on what is now the left. And that's because all summer the pot faced the other way, and so there's really nothing in what is really the back of the pot. There is a little bit of a chocolate uh, is it a creeping Jenny vine or something like that? Um, and so that is all in the front, which I chopped all that off because the ends were thriving, but the uh, top down to about 3/4 of the vine were bare. So all the nutrients were going to the ends. So anyway, I've turned it around to give this side a little bit of a chance and also to be able to see the medallion again, which is one of the reasons it's one of my favorite pots. And then a little bit farther over, that is, I believe, and I'm gonna have to look at these plant names again, but I believe that is yet another, no, I was gonna say another coral bell, but it can't be. It must be something else. So I'll have to remind myself what that is, but that had, I think, entirely died back over the winter, and so now is coming back in the spring with foliage and those lovely yellow flowers, so that's a treat. And then the stonecrop creeper, the succulents that are in the front of that one as well. And I know there's also a trailing vine in that one that's not visible at the moment. And then the clay pot, which has hosted my basil beasts for years and years. It has all been cut back and ready to be replanted. I would say I can do it probably any time now. I think we're past the danger of frost. I think we're into safe spring territory. And then that adorable corkscrew something plant that I just think has so much personality, has pretty much entirely taken over that pot that had been planted with all the leftovers of things. Initially it had my Gerbera daisies in it, and then I started putting different things in it, and it had the begonias, some of the leftover begonias in it, and it has that same maybe it's a golden creeping Jenny. I'm gonna have to look it up. It does have a creeper that I see is starting to come out, and even maybe a leaf that's starting to come up. So we'll see what happens with that one. But I'm not anxious about doing anything immediately. Just enjoying these plants so much. The dwarf pine, dwarf spruce is definitely getting some new growth at the tips as well. So that's nice to see. So I have the industrial sounds, and I have the bird songs, and I have this light little breeze from time to time. It's been mostly still, but you can see the breeze a little bit. You can't really see anymore the dogwood as well because all the other trees are starting to leaf out, but Where did it go? I saw it just a minute ago in here. I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah. But you can see dogwood here, and can't see it as well down there, but I think you can see it now maybe on the right. The dogwood down the way from the neighbors, and then this tree right here that's starting to leaf out that has some red leaves, and the red bud tree that I was telling you about is right here, but the red buds are gone. So this leafing out is about what it's about a couple weeks behind the first working from home picture that I took, which I think was April 1st. Anyway, I love you so much, and just wanted to share this extraordinarily pleasant